We are the Mealy Goats. It is a special episode. This is what we do for the majors. If we have major golf, I would love to do them more, but majors for sure. We're working on making that happen. If there's major golf, we are doing a recap that night. I am your co-host, AK, solo tonight, I believe. Javi is boots on the ground in Charlotte, actually. He said it was super hot there. So we're going to take a look at this PGA Championship. Currently, we've got the Nuggets, who just forced a Game 7 in the NBA. And we've got the Winnipeg Jets playing the Dallas Stars, who are up 1-0. Jets trying to make a Game 6. And the Hurricanes ended that series against the Caps. So we've got the Oilers and the Canes in the conference finals, and we're waiting on the other ones. And then we've got a couple more basketball games. So if you're looking for that, this is not the show for that. This is golf. In Charlotte, sweltering heat today, as reported by Javi, who was there. We have 3 of our guys that we've interviewed. It's a crying shame that Mark Hubbard was not in the field this week. Shame on you, PGA. But basically, this has been a very tumultuous week if you are a golf fan or a golf looker, watcher, whatever you want to call it. Because this leaderboard is very, very interesting. So typically on these shows, what we do is we kind of go down the leaderboard. I have a list of notes that I make, and then we have some tweets that I have pinned or posts or whatever it is on X, and we just kind of go through them. The first thing was there's been a lot of and obviously I watched as much of the golf as I could. I have my phone on while I'm at work and while I'm typing notes and that sort of thing. So I'm in and out and catching as much as I can. So, and then I watch whenever I get home, the late night stuff. So, I see quite a bit. And I love the majors. I love the fact that this is in Quail Hollow. I wish I could be there. I love whenever majors. I was at the U.S. Open last year in Pinehurst. That was electric. Got to see Hubs. It was incredible. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. B. McCormick. He's back. B. McCormick, always one of the goats. Dude, we got a topic that'll make me mad, but we're going to save it for a different show, and that's the whole Caleb Williams situation. You want to talk about getting mad, buddy. That's not why we're here. We're here to talk golf. I mean, that's what I'm saying. B. McCormick, the GOAT. But we've got so this whole week was tumultuous if you're a watcher of the golf, especially if you're from North Carolina, because there was all kinds of stuff that was flying around before coming from the No Laying Up podcast or whoever the heck those guys are. I was watching their show this afternoon. Pretty funny guys. So respect to them. But they put out this, this post about how Charlotte is Atlanta light and it's a bunch of mid-level bankers and it doesn't really have good culinary experience and all. It's just berating. And then you hear all the players talking about how, they didn't adjust the course. It's just the same as they always play. It's one of those courses that's on tour anyways, and it's just a stop that they're used to, and it's it's not the Augustas or the the Pinehurst is something that they don't play every year. They used to play Quail Hollow every year for the Wells Fargo or the Truist, whatever it is now. And so all the players beforehand, you got people in the media just bashing Charlotte, bashing Quail Hollow. You look at Twitter and everybody's just, this course sucks. This broadcast sucks. This leaderboard sucks. And it's like, wait a minute now. Like, are we not supposed to be growing the game? I mean, look at this leaderboard, right? Is this ideal if you're like a golf purist or whatever you want to call yourself about, I need to see the top, all 99 of the top 100 golfers are in this field, and none of them are even in close to the top 10 at this current juncture, at this particular time and juncture. Stephen A. Smith, you. But so you've got everybody complaining about Charlotte and how it's not and I'm here to tell you, Charlotte's fine. Now, if you're mad about Charlotte, then everybody who look, take it from somebody who's from North Carolina, people who live in Charlotte, I would say 70% of the people are not from Charlotte. They're from other states. So if you're mad about Charlotte and you're from out of state, the people that probably live down the street from you now live in Charlotte. I can guarantee you it's probably one of the fastest growing cities in the country. So you're complaining about stuff that North Carolinians don't really have anything to do about. So let it go. Stop with the complaining. And secondly, the Quail Hollow stuff. All the golfers beforehand, Rory said, they didn't change much. The rough is this, and it's pretty much just get out there and hit it as far as you can off the tee. Everybody who was talking that jazz early on, they still got some work to do here, because a lot of those guys, as we move down this leaderboard, are going to be in the over par range portion of the leaderboard. So, and they even kind of nerfed this thing a little bit. This particular time and junction, dude. People say what you want about Stephen A. Josh said that Stephen A. was on point. Dude, have you seen that? There's a show out there, by the way, folks. This is free promo. It's called Last Take. It's these 3 dudes, and they bring in like other people that do impersonations, and they impersonate. It's called Last Take. You want to laugh? They impersonate Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, and Kendrick Perkins, and then they have a guy who comes in and does Skip Bayless. That is some funny stuff, man. That is good stuff. So, shout out Josh, Fourth Quarter Performance. Go check them out. Fourthquarterperformance.com. Online workout programs, apparel, knowledge, supplements, all that stuff. I need a picture to flash up. I need to make a slide for that. So, but anyway, all these guys that were bashing on the course about saying, it's not this, it's not that. I can't believe they did this, and they didn't change anything, and it's the same, this and that. Those guys didn't play particularly well today, and so we've got this beautiful, beautiful leaderboard of people who, and shout out Australia, who's dominating the leaderboard. You've got, you got Adam Scott up here, who's 2 under. You've got Ryan Fox. You got Cam Davis. I mean, Australia, I don't know what the link is between Australia and Charlotte, but holy smokes, something's got figured out. So we got Jonathan Vegas, the first, oh no, where did I just click? The first, correct me, the first Venezuelan to hold a lead at a major. How about that? So people are like, this sucks. We want these other guys. And so what I said is, like, all these guys that, the top 12 golfers in the world, shout out Matt McNeely for being number 12, because I had no idea that was the case, spent their entire week telling us how bad this course was and how they didn't change anything, and it's kind of the zoop-de-doo. I compared it to, the top 12 golfers being the Power 5 schools. There's a football reference. So the Power 5 schools sitting there, we don't have to worry about this FCS school that's come into town. This is just like, we could go and get drunk with the night before and party and still beat these guys, type of deal. So the Rorys and the DeChambos and all these guys saying it's the same, and it's the courses, what I'm used to. It's no different. They didn't take this course seriously. And now they're all sitting over here. Rory's over here, what, at 3 over, right? Rory's 3 over, correct? Yeah, he's 3 over. So Buddy's got he's tied for 98th, right? What it's looking like right now is the cut's going to be somewhere around between even and 1 over, maybe 2 over. So he's got some work to do to get himself back into contention. So, I say that they were over here, talking that talk about how we don't have to worry about this course, same as I've always played. They're slipping, not taking it seriously, wasting a day of golf. And meanwhile, you've got all these other guys, the Ryan Gerards, who's a North Carolina guy, took it personally. Other North Carolina guys, Alex Smalley at 4 under, he's a North Carolina guy. He took it personally. All that jabber-jawing about North Carolina, you got Alex Smalley, you got Ryan Gerard, you've got JT Poston, another North Carolina guy, top 10, 3 over or 3 under. I mean, look at all these North Carolina guys. Let's go. They heard all those people flapping their gums. Let's get after it. So Steven Yeager, I think, was like strokes gained. He was tied for 100th off the tee. You had Aaron Ride, Tommy Two Gloves up there going 4 under. Could have been 5 under, but missed a putt on 18. And some of these names, there's just flags from everywhere. The 3 under crowd's got Matt Fitzpatrick, who's been struggling this year, finally starting to get some things dialed in. Big Bobby Mack out of Scotland. coming to play. The Højgaard brothers. We got Keegan Bradley at 3 under, and then Luke Donald at 4 under. Those two guys are the Ryder Cup captains. And this mutant scumbag, whatever you want to call him, Cam Davis, this dude will do this every so often. He'll look out there and just be as smooth swinging, dialed in with the putter as he possibly can be. I think they were talking to him after, and he had missed. He started off hot the first few weeks of the season and then missed like 4 or 5 straight cuts. And so Cam Davis got the putter rolling. And another thing is, I got these the way that the course played with all that rain they had this week, man. For them to get the greens to be firm, and J-Bow was reporting they've got this air suction system underneath the greens. Hold on, Emo's saying so. They've got this air suction system under the green. So basically the course is like a swamp, essentially. And the greens are basically like nothing ever happened. So, just a weird combination of guys who want to hit it high and far off the tee, and that results in plugging. And I've got some slides here in a little bit. But I was watching that a couple of these. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I forgot. I need to send myself some pictures that I took. But yeah, there was some, dang, I forgot what I was going to do now. Anyways, I was taking some pictures of, hold on, get out of here. I was taking some pictures of the screen, watching golf about some of these holes, man. It was outrageous. Like the Green Mile, 16, 17, 18. They were playing the first 16 was the first hardest hole. And I was watching the hole that happened to have the featured group, Xander, Scotty, and Rory. And that, I think every single one of them double bogeyed 16. I don't think anybody made a birdie on 16 at all. Don't quote me on that. But from what I saw, I think it was averaging almost 5 strokes. Then you've got 17, which I think was playing as the third hardest hole. And then 18 was playing as the 7th. So I think they were all close to shooting over par. And that 16th was eating people alive. That 16th hole was just, you didn't want to mess with that. That was outrageous. So yeah, I screenshot it, but I don't know what happened to my picture. It must have blanked out. But anywho, that was pretty crazy. So in first place, we've got Jonathan Vegas. In second, he's 7 under. So he came in with a 64. Out of nowhere. And then you've got Ryan Gerard, Ryan Gerard's been playing really good golf. Like, let's not get it confused here. Ryan Gerard, I think I was reading this article about the guys that are currently in the leaderboard, because again, everybody's so damn mad at stuff that they can't sit here and appreciate, like, dude, yeah, Bryson is Bryson DeChambeau has got something going on with his irons. I don't know what it is, but DeChambeau, TJ says Bryson DeChambeau was putrid. But this, he can't get his distance control on his irons at all. Like Bryson, at the Masters, he was pulling everything, and it ended up killing him. Like, it ended up like crushing him. And today he just couldn't get his distance control. Rory couldn't hit the ball off the tee. I saw a stat on Rory where he, in his last like 35 holes, he's hit like 6 fairways, which is, for Rory, that's a death sentence, because he's a great iron player, but his advantage that he has, especially at a course like this, is to freaking absolutely mutilate the golf ball. Yeah, TJ says he swings too hard and it affects his accuracy. Yeah, I don't know what DeChambeau's doing. This is the second major I watched him now where his irons, his approaches has been skeptical at best. So here's a little background on Ryan Gerard and some of these guys at the top of the leaderboard. This is from Monday Q Info. Great account on Twitter. Ryan Gerard, just 25 years old, has made 12 of 14 cuts this year, 6 top 25s, and 38th in points. So everybody's like, this leaderboard sucks. I'm like, Ryan Gerard's playing some damn good golf. Cam Davis, just 30, has 2 PGA Tour wins, and he's 48th in points. Ryan Fox won last week. He's got 3 Aussie wins, 4 European wins, 1 Asian Tour win. So he's, Alex Smalley has been in contention multiple times this year, struggled on Sundays, 9 of 14 cuts. He's the guy he's a cool story because Sahith Theegala got booted out. Not booted out, but he withdrew because of a neck. And so Alex Smalley got inserted, and now he's 4 under, tied for 4th, top 5. Jaeger, 6. That's what I'm talking about, McCormick, another North Carolina guy, buddy. He says Bhatia top 5 plus 1,200. I like that. Jaeger has 6 Korn Ferry Tour wins, a PGA Tour win, 12 of 14 cuts. Alex Noren has 10 Euro wins and a Ryder Cup participant. And so you the whole point of Monday Q's session here is that let's not ignore, because I'm a guy who likes, if Ryan Gerard were to win this PGA championship, or say an Andrew Novak, shout out our guy, that would be incredible to me. Just because that is going to change his life. He will, I think you get 5 years of exemption for winning one of these majors. I would love to see Ryan Gerard do that. Shout out America. I would love to see Alex Smalley do it. You know what I mean? Any one of these guys, JT Poston, Jaeger, set themselves up. So this whole idea that we've got to see, that we're just going to walk around with this pessimism, like there's no laying up guys. And I'm not trying to throw shade at them, but I mean, everywhere you go, everybody's like, this sucks. We need it. And I want Bryson versus Rory at 3.0 just as much as the next guy, but I'm not going to sit here and turn my nose up at Ryan Gerard trying to get his signature win and changing the course of his life. I'm here for that, dude. I don't know about you, but I'm here for that. So, anyways, but yeah, it's not star-studded, but at the same time, if this tournament were the NCAA tournament, March Madness, this would be Cinderella stories all over the place. Is basically what this would be, right? Like Luke Donald, I think he's only played 3 events this year. He's 4 under. He went bogey free, the only guy to do it today. He was plus 22,000. That's like a 15 seed being in the Final Four. In any other sporting event, any other sporting event, we'd be like, upset city, give it to me. But with golf, for some reason, everybody wants to be all high and mighty. And turn on their SEC cloaks for football. Get out of here. Give me the upsets. Give me the guys who are going to change your life. Let me see these guys get down the green mile 16, 17, 18. With Sunday with Scotty Scheffler just hanging out 2 back. See if Ryan Gerard can handle it. So it's only Thursday. Let's just stop with the hateful bashing of North Carolina in this tournament so far. Let's relax. Aaron Rodgers, that thing. So yeah, 4 under is tied for 4th. And then you go a little further. You got at 3 under, you got Noren and Poston and Hisatsune and Echevarria, Fitzpatrick, Højgaard, Keegan Bradley, Tyrrell Hatton is somebody to watch. Thor Bjornsson, Campos. And then at 20th, at 2 under, you got Scotty in that group. Justin Lauer, shout out our guy. Benny On, also, shout out Benny On. Adam Scott, Taylor Pendrith, another long bomb hitter. Victor Hovland. We got a bone to pick with Victor Hovland and most of the people on tour today. Where was the swagger? You go to the Masters, everybody's got they wear a nod to the azaleas and the green jacket and all that stuff, but we got no fashion today from the PGA Championship. That's what they need to do. Get some fashion back in this golf tournament. John Rahm, here you go. At 1 under. Tony Finau 1 under. Ben Griffin, another North Carolina guy. Andrew Novak, let's go. North Carolina rise up. Akshay Bhatia. I mean, you got a bunch of guys who've been playing good golf. The McCarthys, the McNeelys, the Novaks, Griffins. Been playing good golf, playing in a lot of tournaments. Right there at 1 under, I like it. Morikawa's down there at 1 under. Oberg. There you go. Mike Kim, our guy at 46, he's even fighting through that back injury. Lucas Glover, a crowd favorite. And there's DeChambeau at even. He hit an absolute seed, I think, on 18. No, 17. Whatever the par 3 was. What a just a beauty. Just a beauty. Some of these guys at the +1 range. Siwoo Kim ripped a cigarette in the middle of the round. That was freaking hilarious. Keith Mitchell, crowd favorite, Mr. Thursday Night. He's at 1 under or 1 over. Patrick Reed, people really liked him this tournament. He's at 1 over, tied for 60th. So yeah, then you've got Sepp Straka. He's one of the top golfers in the world. He's number 2 in the IQ standings. He's at 2 over. Ricky's at 2 over. Lowry 2 over. All those guys are tied for 73. I mean, right now, if the cut were today, it'd be at 1 over. So then you get down here into the 3 overs. You got Minwoo Lee, winner on tour. You got Rory, not looking good. Joaquin Neiman, everybody always jumps on his bandwagon come major time for some reason. He never gets it done. Michael Block, dude, let's go, 4 over. And then Spieth is 5 over. Does not look like the Grand Slam is going to happen. Justin Rose is Mr. Masters, so not happening at the PGA. Dustin Johnson, 7 over. Not looking good. Cam Smith, 7 over. Not a good showing for Liv. Sergio's down here somewhere, and Sergio had on some red and black outfit looking like Jafar from Aladdin. Or looking like he was about to go play in some World Series of Poker Tour event or play in a slow pitch softball. If you need a laugh, look at Sergio's outfit. You got to respect him. So round of the day goes to Greg Koch. Shot an 82. Not great. Phil also shot a 79. Reports were that Phil did not show up to the campus until about 7 p.m. Wednesday night, chipped a few balls, hit a few putts, and then just did what he does. So Phil just basking in the glory, just enjoying going and playing a little, playing with the boys or whatever you want to call it. So those are some of the notables. I mean, now we got Friday coming up. I think the weather's supposed to be okay. But there's old Scotty just hanging out. And Scotty was struggling. There was some mud ball discrepancies, so on and so forth. But if he's fighting this hard, you know what I mean? If he's fighting this hard and he's at 2 under, if he gets it dialed in, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble. Oh, look who it is, dude. Oh, Chase. What's up, man? What is up, Chase? Batia top 5. That's what I'm talking about, B. McCormick. That's what I'm talking about. We need a Batia T5. I love that. Where's he at? He was at 1 under, wasn't he? Yeah, there's the Carolina boys. Griffin, Novak, Batia. Let's go. Love it. Man, I would love for Novak to make a run. Let's go, Novak. If you haven't listened to our show, we interviewed Andrew Novak a couple weeks ago. What's up, Chase? So some of these guys at 2 under and stuff. I mean, Justin Lauer, let's go, dude. Change your life one time. Justin Lauer, come on. We interviewed him too, if you want to go check that out. And Mike Kim and Mark Hubbard. They're all highlighted on our YouTube channels and stuff. So go look at them if you want. Awesome guys. So yeah. We got the situation with Keegan Bradley. That's kind of funny. But I wrote down hole 16 was hilarious. These are my notes. Rory slipped on that hill back there. Like, he was all out of sorts. Hole 14, there was a couple of times on 14 where people got saved when they pulled their drive because it was a drivable par 4, I believe. And it ran off to the left into the water, but the rough was so long that it stopped the ball. So that was a big complaint about everybody. Scotty Scheffler, we just talked about. He's back in burnt orange. Now, this is the time we can't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time where Scotty last year at the PGA Championship, I think it was Friday morning, that's when he got arrested. That was the last time he wore burnt orange at the PGA. So somebody's got to there's going to be tweets. I will send a tweet out tomorrow morning being like, I was there. I remember. Where were you when Scotty was arrested? And, we got to see Jeff Darlington for like 3 straight hours in the morning. And then he went out there and shot like a 63. So Scotty Scheffler wore burnt orange today, probably in memory of last year. I wonder if he was joking about that. So, but yeah, I think that's all my notes I had written down on my sheet of paper. That's the leaderboard. I'm excited. I'm excited. I want these guys. Like, some of these people got to do some work to make the cut. The old Rory and Sepp Straka and Xander and some of these guys that are top golfers are gonna have to get it together. Now, apparently, Colin Morikawa, I don't know what he did, but he did something late in the round, so I'm not sure. But let's go to our Twitter feed here and just check out some of the stuff that we've bookmarked. So this Johnny Vegas, the leader today. Shout out Johnny Vegas. If you had him first round leader, you probably made $1 gazillion, but I bet you nobody did. I'm not going to sit here and tell you who to bet. I'm also not going to sit here and try to deep dive in stats. Like, if you want that, go find Byron Lindeque, and the Model Maniac is what he is, and he has more stats on golf than anybody I've ever seen in my life. He's a stats guy for sure, and he's hilarious. So go follow the Model Maniac for all your golfing stats and deep dives. Guys, it's incredible. I'm not even going to pretend to be that, but here's Johnny Vegas's track record in the majors. 2011, he was cut from the Masters, tied for 51 at the PGA Championship, cut from the PGA Championship. There you go. And he did not play in any majors until 2016, where he was cut where he made 22nd at the PGA Championship. 2017, he made all the majors and was cut from every single one of them. 2018, he made the cut at the Masters, made it at the U.S. Open, made it at the PGA Championship, and was cut at the U.S. Open. He made the PGA and the U.S. Open at 2019, but was cut. He played in the 2021 U.S. Open and tied for 57th. He played in the 2022 PGA Championship and was cut. And he played the Masters this year and was cut. So the best he's done is tied for 22nd in the PGA Championship almost 10 years ago. So shout out him. But he is the first Venezuelan to hold a lead at a major. So now, let's get to some highlights here. We've got Bryson DeChambeau. He was hitting 193 ball speed. I can't remember where this was from, but he mashed the ball late. I can't remember. I think it was 16. It was like 362 yards or 360 some yards. It was ridiculous. So I think that was the longest one of the day. We had JT. I love watching these replays. Just an absolute, floppy, flopperooski dunk fest. That was probably big for him. I'm not entirely sure where JT's even at. I think he's in the one over, kind of hanging around that one. Everybody was on him too. Yeah, he's at 2 over. That's what I thought. Everybody was kind of on him because the way he'd been playing lately. So rightfully so. We also had a lot of this was crazy. We had a lot of turtles on the course and a lot of ducks that were walking across. So all you people that are hating on Charlotte, we got some, forget gators. We got a whole smorgasbord of just wildlife. I mean, look at this turtle right here. Looks like a Brachiosaurus from Jurassic Park. Look at that sucker. He had a big old snapping turtle running across. They said the turtle delay, the PGA Championship was delayed for a short time due to turtles that were just wrecking the bunkers. So, hey, Winnipeg just scored. We're going to have a game. Oh, baby. Looks like we're going to, I love Patriot Sports Radio, B. McCormick. Wish they bring it back. And then we also had Eric Cole on, what hole is this? I can't remember which hole it was. Hole in one for Eric Cole. Big time right there. Big one. I think that was hole number 4. Yeah, hole number 4. par 3 on the hole number 4. Just absolute dunk city. Love to see it. This whole thing with the mud balls, Scotty Scheffler spoke on it and spoke on it once. He said that there was nothing, the whole issue is the rain all week, and then whenever they drive the golf ball, it plugs in the mud, so on and so forth. And then they can't lift, clean, and place their ball, and he went on this whole spiel about, I'm only going to address this once. It's really frustrating to know that, you can train your whole life. What's he say? Literally working your entire life to learn how to control a golf ball, then hitting a perfect shot in the middle of the fairway and have no idea where it's going to go, insinuating that you're penalized for hitting it in the fairway because your ball gets mud on it. And once you can't lift, clean, in place, so once you strike the ball again and there's mud, it messes with the divots on the golf ball, and it messes with the grooves on the golf club. And so you essentially, what he's saying is he loses the ability to control the golf ball what he likes. And this has sparked an entire debate. It even birthed somehow a minor league baseball team named the Carolina Mudballs, which was hilarious. I saw a graphic, incredible. Look it up. But I don't know whose side I'm on here. I get the side of like play it as it lies. I mean, shout out Happy Gilmore, who played it off of Frankenstein's fat foot. But I think for the sake of what he's saying, I kind of get it. Is like I'm hitting it in the fairway, but then you have all these people. I saw a quote from a guy who played back in the 70s and the 80s, and he said, "Guess what? You got to learn to hit it lower than that, and you can have some control on how that ball lands in the fairway." And it's like, well, okay, all right. I don't even know what the comp is to this, because golf is a very different game, because most of the other balls are, every other sport deals with the elements no matter what. You can't really mess with the ball. So, I don't know. He ended up saying, dude, yes, dude, the Hartford Yard Goats. I love the Yard Goats. We go back and forth with them on Twitter. B. McCormick. But yeah, so it's been a big debate about whether, the rules will allow them to, and I don't think they can at this tournament now that they've already started it, but to be able to lift, clean, in place so that you can do what you want to with the golf ball. Because you did see a lot of shots today. Also, there were a lot of chip-ins from off the green. There were a lot of chip-ins today from a Dr. Chipinski, paging Dr. Chipinski, off the greens. But there were a lot of balls that also you watched them hit it, like Scotty, I think on 16. All three of them hit it in the water. It was like, that's weird. That doesn't happen a lot. But anyways, mud balls. Love Alex Smalley. Shot a 67 in his 4th major championship. He's from Greensboro, and because of Thagala getting out, he got in. And then Phil, here's what I was saying. Phil made his first appearance at Quail Hollow Wednesday at 7 p.m. This is from Sleeper Golf. He shot this in the opening round today, which was a 79. So he didn't show up until Wednesday 7. You got to respect that. I mean, you got to respect that. That's hilarious. We also had the Stanley Cup show up to Quail Hollow as the Carolina Hurricanes make their push for the Stanley Cup as they're in the Eastern Conference Final. So that was there. We had an absolutely unit of a snapping turtle just chilling in the middle of the fairway. Don't touch that thing. Rip your face off. I mean, look at this thing. That's a dinosaur, buddy. That's get that guy to the combine and get him to UNC. Probably need some offensive line. Get that guy on Bryce Young's blind side. Put him at tackle. But yeah, this is what I was talking about on the 14th. There's plenty from Friday at golf, plenty of rough to keep balls out of the water on the left side of the drivable 14th green. There you go. That's what I was talking about. People landing it on the green and it rolls and trickles to the left and it just gets stopped by this rough. You know what I mean? And it's, like I don't know what side you'd be on. It's like, do you want to punish the players for going to the green? I don't. It's a major, so it should be. It's just like, on that, what's that on number 15 in Augusta, right? If you land that ball short at 15 at Augusta, that sucker, you're in the water. And I feel I want my majors to be if you don't hit it exactly where you should, it should be in the water. Like, no offense. No offense to everybody. But, I picture that same thing at Augusta, 10 cup this thing. If you don't hit it right on the platform, it's over. So, yeah, this is what I was talking about. This was early on. Through 6 holes, Rory was one of 6 fairways hit. Could not get his driver under control. And here's another. This is just a highlight of Scotty Scheffler making his eagle early on in the day, off the green. People were killing it from off the green. Shane Lowry had a 68-foot birdie. That was electric. He's not in contention right now, but doesn't mean he couldn't be. The putter's rolling like that. And then the whole the live golfers, the Cam Smiths, the Phil Mickelsons, the Brooks Koepkas, the Dustin Johnsons, you got Tyrrell Hatton up there and DeChambeau, they're usually the ones that kind of carry the live through the majors. But Brooks Koepka was hitting balls and, hit a drive and said, just toss me another one. And I think he ended up only being 3 over currently, but it just doesn't look good. Yeah, he's 4 over. It just a lot of these guys they left and their edge is gone. John Rahm, DJ, Brooks Koepka, Cam Smith, I don't know. And then we had Patrick Cantlay, who had a hilarious graphic. It says Patrick Cantlay was 3 over through 3 holes, tied for his worst through 3 in any major round. I don't know who was responsible for finding that graphic, but whatever. And this was pretty cool to the PGA Championship as well. They're offering free concessions to everyone for the first time. Every ticket is all inclusive for food and non-alcoholic beverages. So basically, they've got just bins and garden, just wagons full of chips here that you can go in, and then they've got drinks you can select from. So that's shout out. I don't know why you're complaining about that. You know what I mean? I don't know. But, and this was just a graphic that I saved where it was talking about Scheffler, Rory, and Schauffele, and it says they have 52 tour wins, 9 majors, 8 runners-up in majors, 61 top 10s, top 3 in the world, and they still don't even equal Tiger Woods' numbers. That's all. That's the reason I say this. That's just freaking insane. So, anyways, and then another, Rory hitting a bad drive, gets saved by the rough, and he gets a 7-iron into the par 5. People are mad about the rough not being penal enough. So, anyways, that's round 1. That's all the notes. But yeah, you can see that the PGA is trending and golf is trending on Twitter. So good stuff. I'm going to put this out as a podcast. So if you're jumping in here late, you missed the first part, by all means, go back and check it out. Anywho, I got one more thing I want to pull up here. And then I'm going to come back and do this I'm going to do it Friday or tomorrow night. I'm going to do it Saturday night. So I'll be here every night. Come back, tune in, check out the podcast. Check out the one we just did too. We talked about the NFL schedule. That was a lot of fun. We're going to yell about some other stuff Sunday night. Check out all of our socials, which you can find right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a shorter episode, 40 minutes. That's pretty good for me. Normally, I can go for an hour and a half if you want me to, but I'm not going to. I got to go to bed. I got to work in the morning. But I love doing this. I love golf. I love the majors. Check out all of our socials. So be back here tomorrow. We'll have a day 2 recap. Go check out our new show. Podcasts everywhere. Listen to us yell about spiders wearing pants and the NFL schedule. Lee McCormick, you're awesome. Everybody who tuned in, appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow night.